Battlefield's content calendar pushes on as we just saw the introduction of Phase 2, but recently we also saw more details leak in regards to a bit further out beyond that, that being the next major launch for Battlefield 6. Now, Phase 3 of Season 1 is still on deck, but it's admittedly going to be a smaller update by comparison to Phase 1 and Phase 2, kind of just being the finale here of this going into the holidays for a bit more of a thematic change-up and a few other things here and there. But what lies beyond is a larger seasonal update in the near future, a Season 2, and in some capacity, even further beyond that, a Season 3. Today we're taking a look at what will be allegedly the Season 2 and some Season 3 content that you should know about. So drop your thoughts down below, drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button for more Battlefield 6 and other FPS content here on the channel. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, let's get into it. So of course, we did just see Season 1 Phase 2 this past week. We saw the introduction of Eastwood as a new map, Sabotage as a new LTM, Rodeo as a new Gauntlet mission, Portal support expanded, a free trial that's ongoing, new weapons, the DB12 and M357 trait, battle pickups, and a golf cart. So like, that's a lot of stuff right now, and especially on like a 3-week cadence of when we see these content updates, not bad to have there at our disposal. But that puts us over the hump for Season 1 because Phase 3 for Season 1 will kick off on December 9th. However, what you may notice about Phase 3 of Season 1 is that it's significantly less in terms of quantity of things you'll see with this update. What's listed for Winter Offensive is the Ice Lock Gauntlet, Ice Lock Empire State, Ice Climbing Axe, and Portal updates. But if you dig deeper a little further into the blog post with the mid-season update, it does mention we'll end up seeing the Ice Lock Empire State limited time map update, where that changes thematically Empire State. We also have that limited event across Battlefield 6 that includes a little more than just those map conditions, but an accompanying LTM will be centered around a mechanic called Freeze, a modifier in gameplay that slowly reduces player health if they do not seek external heat sources. You don't want to be caught snowblind, so combat zones will have designated heat zones to bring your core temperature back up to normal, or you can create fire using incendiary grenades and other gadgets. Then within RedSec, you're going to have the Ice Lock Gauntlet, which is similar to Ice Lock in the multiplayer, but the Gauntlet version will be a variant that adds the experience's relentless nature with sheer force of harsh winter conditions. Unlike traditional Gauntlet on Fort Linden, Ice Lock Gauntlet takes place on the Battlefield 6 multiplayer map Empire State Ice Lock, with a locked set of 3 operations in every match. So you're going to be playing Gauntlet, but not in the BR map. You're going to be instead transferring over to that multiplayer experience that if you are a free-to-play player, it might be something that's pretty nice. You get to experience a little bit more of Battlefield 6's core experience. The Ice Climbing Axe will be a melee weapon that will be available in the final free tier of the Winter Offensive bonus path. So what we see right now with the California Resistance bonus path, that is going to be replicated with the Winter Offensive event upcoming on the 9th. So you are going to see those limited time sort of additional tracks to the battlefield that you'll end up earning progression to by taking part in these limited time events. And then Portal updates is going to be a new verified mode and all Winter Offensive content put in there. But that's what we have for Season 1 and what we see right now. But okay, what about a little further on? Because we talked about how we've seen new things leak for Season 2. Well, according to resident leaker Temporal, a data miner with a prolific track record within the Battlefield scene, he ended up actually showcasing some weapons, vehicles, and gadgets that we can expect to see within Season 2 and Season 3. He ended up detailing that within Season 2, we'll see the MG5. This is the only weapon that is apparently tied to an actual season itself, but he also listed that there are other weapons such as the Bren 2, the Scorpion Evo 3, and the Scorpion VZ61 as a secondary that are kind of in limbo. They very well could be coming in Season 2, but they also very well could be coming a little later down the line. They could be cut content. We don't have enough details on that, but 4 weapons in particular that have been named and are in the most recent builds of Battlefield 6. Additionally, we'll also see the AH-6 Little Bird in Season 2, along with gadgets of the SICK G1 Frag, the GL40 STKY or Sticky, the M32 OA1AT anti-vehicle grenade launcher, and the RGO impact grenade. Then a little further out, the jet ski in Season 3. Now, that's a lot of loaded combat information here for things to expect with Season 2, because right now, we don't officially have anything in particular that is explicitly laid out as, hey, this is coming in Season 2. There is still a map or two that has been leaked from game files beforehand that it's assumed will be coming within Season 2, but nothing really explicitly detailing, hey, this is Season 2. But that's not a bad lineup of stuff either way. You have 3 primaries, all 3 of which I think fitting a certain category of what some people would love to see in regards to the gameplay experience. A secondary that is likely going to be very versatile, something that can shred through your enemies up close. And then you, of course, have that fan favorite of the Age 6 Little Bird coming. That apparently also going to be coming with the primaries of the minigun GAU-19 and the LR-30, secondaries of the APK-WS, the Hellfire, Hydra 70, or the Stinger, and equipment of the flares, motion sensor, or thermal smoke, while the passenger can end up having a thermal scanner or a directional jammer at their disposal. So you have quite a bit of fan favorite things here coming right up front, and then a little further down the line as well, with a jet ski in Season 3, and then whenever these other weapons may end up launching on top of that, whether that be in Season 2, whether that be in Season 3, it's still a decent lineup. So, okay, that's pretty cool. I like the sound of that, if that all does come as expected. So, when is Season 2 then? When can we expect to see the marketing for this start to gear up? When can we start to see it actually in our hands or in our controllers, on mouse and keys, whatever? As for Season 2's potential timing, technically speaking, we have seen everything go with Season 1 on 3-week intervals. So technically speaking, with December 9th coming and being Phase 3, we could end up seeing the update on December 30th. But I'll be entirely honest with you, I do not expect that to be the case. I do not expect to see Season 2 within 2025. If that's the case, if it does happen, cool. Happy to be wrong on that, but I'm not expecting that. Mainly just because studios, of course, go on holiday, as does so many other offices around the world, that universally, for the end of December, early January, they're out of office. There's not going to be anybody that's actually upkeeping the game, save for a few hands on deck that are essentially kind of like your essential live ops teams. But we're not going to be seeing a seasonal launch when people are on holiday. That has happened before in the gaming space where, well, usually doesn't go very well. The thing that always sticks out in my mind is the sort of prolific disaster that was Season 1 of Caldera with Warzone and Vanguard for Call of Duty. You launched a massive game-altering update, and then the entire studio, or rather I should say multiple studios, went on holiday break for like 3 weeks at a time, and then the game was unplayable. So that kind of stuff is usually avoided when at all possible. So when that could mean we end up seeing Season 2 kick off, I would probably guess maybe like the 1st or 2nd week of January, giving it a little bit longer of a time here for the last portion of Season 1, but also at the same time, with it being holidays, it's probably something that's not as big a focal point for dropping more content in that space. But again, I'd be entirely okay if that was wrong, but I would imagine right after the new year. But one thing that also kind of piques my interest here out of these new leaks from Temporeal is the Season 3 stuff, which will likely not be again for another 2 months after this point, if not like 2.5. But a jet ski being leaked is something that is rather interesting, because if you guys remember back, it was mentioned that the team is aware of fans' interest in naval warfare, with the only thing from Season 3 being data mined really explicitly that we've seen so far, water vehicle with not a lot of water available to use that in Battlefield 6 or in RedSec. Like, yeah, there are parts of the map in RedSec that do have water, but it's not an overabundance of it. It's not something that you're reliant on crossing water or navigating a stream or something like that. The jet skis coming in Season 3, could that mean we also see some naval combat? A season based around water maps and what we see there? Could be cool. But anyways, that is what we know of right now. Battlefield 6 is going to get a little bit bigger here in the near future. Of course, with Phase 3 of Season 1 upcoming, that's a smaller update. But a larger content dump is just beyond that on the horizon that we can start to look forward to. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. I want to fill you guys in a little bit on what's still upcoming. So let me know your thoughts down below. Looking forward to anything in Season 2 that's been leaked so far. Maybe Season 3 with Naval Warfare, if that does come. Drop your thoughts. If you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so don't miss a single thing running all things Battlefield 6, RedSec, Arc Raiders, Black Ops 7, and even more FPS content. I'd love to have in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.